Everyone, I'm here with your Astro Chart for the month of March. So we'll go through in order. This is the basic headlines for the month. If you want something more detailed, on my Patreon every week I have an Astro report that goes through like the whole moon signs and everything, and it goes through just like all the details for the week. This is more like when planets change signs. This is new and full moons. This is also like any like big aspects that are going on. So it's just like a very general idea of the energies for this particular month. Also on the free end as well, I have my blog at my website, linked down below, where every week I'm going to post just a little thing about kind of what the week has in store energetically. And I also have, you can sign up on my blog for a newsletter for every full and new moon. And those are like totally free, whatever resources that you can use for astrology. So let's get on with the chat for the month. So in order, this week on March 4th, we have two planets changing signs. We have Mercury in retrograde going backwards from Pisces into Aquarius, and we have Venus going forward into Taurus. So Mercury in Pisces, he's moving backwards. So retrograde, he goes backwards through Pisces and then he goes backwards into Aquarius. He's then going to stop on the 10th and start moving forward again. So it's like a brief little backwards into Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius is the sign of the independent thinker. So when he's in Pisces, he's the poet. He's all about being dreamy and romantic. And then when he goes back into Aquarius, he's like the original thinker, the independent thinker, the scientist, the genius. And when he's in retrograde too, he's asking us to rethink things, redo things, examine things again. And so when it was in Pisces, he was asking us to look at things from an emotional level. And now when he goes briefly back into Aquarius, he's asking us to look at things from a more intellectual standpoint, to stand back and say, okay, what can I redo here? Is there something that I need to change? And to stand back a bit and think about it a little more independently. Now, Venus goes from Aries, where it says here the keyword is lust, into Taurus, where she's about romance. So Venus is not terribly happy in Aries. It is not one of her favorite signs. She is very, very cranky when she's in Aries, and she's not putting up with any crap. But when she's in Taurus, she is happy as a clam, because that is one of the signs that she rules. And it is very much about romance. It's about sensuous delights. It's about enjoying being in a body. It's about enjoying good food and lingerie and smelling the roses and things. And so for the next month or so, it's really saying like, hey, slow down, enjoy yourself, enjoy being in a body. If you have a romantic partner, enjoy them. Just enjoy your life and romance yourself. You don't have to have a partner. You can be romantic to yourself. On March 9th, we have a full moon in the sign of Virgo, and full moons, the moon is always opposite the sun. So sun is in Pisces, moon is in Virgo, they're opposite signs, and they ask us to balance things out. So sun in Pisces is all about our dreams and what do we want romantically, and what big ideas we have, and love and harmony and all that stuff. But Virgo says we got to get down to work. Those ideas are great. But how are we going to incorporate those things into our day-to-day lives, into our routine? What are we going to do? So it's asking us to match those two things up. We also have on that day Mercury moving forward. So like I said, he's briefly in Aquarius. He starts to move forward again, and so communication will get clearer, less travel delays. Things will start to smooth out as he starts to move forward and gets out of his shadow eventually. On March 16th, he moves back into Pisces. So he goes backwards to Aquarius. Now he's going forward and he goes back into Pisces. So again, we're going to be like more poetic in the way we communicate, more emotional. It's a good time actually for writing poetry. It is a very poetic type sign. But unlike when it was in retrograde, we're going to be like clearer about it, less vague. And I think because it was, we had, kind of a little bit longer of a retrograde period, we've really refined our artistic voice. We've refined what we want to say when it comes to spirituality, romance, and creativity, and we'll be able to express it clearer as we move forward. Thursday, March 19th, Moon moves into the sign of Aries, which is the spring equinox here in the northern hemisphere and the fall equinox for those of you down south. So we move from that Pisces energy, those big dreams, to Aries. And Aries is about action. It's courageous. It's the leadership side. It's about just charging in and going for things. Pisces like, well, I'm going to daydream and lay back. And Aries is like, no, no. We need to take action. So definitely our focus and our energy shifts into whatever house Aries is in your chart. Okay, so we move from visions, which is Pisces, to assertion. There's Aries. There's the guy slaying the dragon. We're going to go out. We're going to do things. We're going to fix things. We've got that springtime energy or fall time energy for those of you down south. On March 20th, Mars, which is the sign that the planet that rules Aries, is going to be conjunct with Jupiter. So Mars is in Capricorn right now, and so it's going to be meeting up with Jupiter. It's already met up with the South Node last night. South Node. Lou, speak clearly. South Node last month, but this month he's meeting up with Jupiter. He's meeting up with Pluto, and then Saturn's going to change into Aquarius, and he's going to meet up with him. So any of the issues that have been brought up by Jupiter, Pluto, or Saturn are going to be activated because Mars is the planet of energy and action. It's about competition. He's kind of the troublemaker in some ways because he stirs things up. And so any of those issues, he's going to stir things up, and he's saying, you got to take action on this. You got to do something. And this can be good or bad because sometimes we're like, yes, I need to take action on that. And other times he's just stirring the pot. It really depends. So he meets up with Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion. So he's asking us, look at your Capricorn house, wherever that is in your chart. And he's asking us, how are you going to expand in this area? How are you going to grow? What are you going to do to move forward? You have to take some action to move things forward, to get things going. Now it is Capricorn, so it's saying you have to take things slowly. You can't rush in there. You need to do it one at a time, but you do need to take some kind of constructive action. So look for opportunities that come up on March 20th for you. They're an invitation to take some action to grow things in your life. March 21st, Saturn moves into Aquarius. Now, he's going to be in Aquarius for a little bit this year, and then he's going to go retrograde and move backwards back into Capricorn before he goes forward again and back into Aquarius. So he's giving us a brief little window into what the next few years, the next 2 or 3 years, are going to bring us in the Saturn area. Saturn is all about boundaries. It is about where we're constricted. It's about rules. But we need boundaries. If we don't have routines or boundaries or order, nothing ever gets done. So he is actually trying to help us. But it is saying, okay, like Saturn in Capricorn was all about the restriction of structures around us, whether that's government or institutions, walls, physical walls being built, that kind of thing. When he goes into Aquarius, he's saying, what are our constraints on our mind, on our intellect? How are we constraining ourselves technologically? How are we constraining ourselves with what are ideas of what is possible? And so he's moving into Aquarius to challenge us to think differently and to question the boundaries that are around us and how we think about things and how we think about the future. On March 23rd, Mars meets up with Pluto. Pluto's the planet of death and decay, but also about power and how we relate to power. So there may be a conflict with those in power that day. This can come up in 2 ways. It either asks us to use our power in a positive way, or we may use our power in a negative way to try to have power over others, or to try to, like violence is like an extreme possibility of that. And so it's saying, how do we use power in a positive way to take action to make long-term change in our futures? So there's opportunity there on the 23rd. We have a new moon on March 24th in the sign of Aries. This is a very energetic new moon. I would ask you to look at where the Aries house is in your chart. It's good for making short-term intentions, not really great for long-term. Aries is all about like go, go, go at the start. He sprints. He's not a marathon runner. It's all about just sprinting towards a short-term goal. So it's a good time to make some short-term intentions for sure. So on March 28th, we have Venus making a trine with with Jupiter. And he's also on the same day, she is also making a trine with Pluto. So I don't usually do Venus transits, but I thought I would put this in there because Mars is kind of a very harsh, kind of energy. And it's all about like, what are you going to do about this and taking action. And Venus is a gentle energy. It's what they call a benefic, meaning it's a very positive planet. And she's giving us opportunities to expand through love and romance and beauty, to expand our horizons, and also asking us how we interact with power in our lives to make our life more beautiful. So there's some wonderful opportunities. March 28th is a very, looks like a very good day, lots of lovely energy that day. So if you're planning something Saturday, March 28th is probably the best day to do like a party or a beauty treatment or what else could you do? A wedding, anything like that. That's a good day for those kind of things. Monday, March 30th, we have Mars in Aquarius. So he changes from the slow-moving Capricorn, like get things done, hard-working, to Aquarius where he's full of ideas and action and he's independent and he's taking charge and he's rebellious. So he's got a lot more oomph. And he also has a lot of rebellious ideas as well. He's like, I have this new thought that we could do this, And he meets up with Saturn on the 31st. And this gives us, again, a little window into when Saturn moves for good into Aquarius, because it's giving you the little preview of some of the issues that may come up with that. Because he's challenging Saturn. He's saying, like, you're restricted in your thoughts on this, and I'm going to challenge that. So kind of watch what happens in the world on that day. So that's the energy I'm seeing. There's a lot of Mars energy this month. He's meeting up, like I said, with those planets. He's challenging us to take action on things. So we're really being challenged this month. And so I'm curious to see how this is all going to play out. I guess we will find out. Again, if you're looking for an astrology reading, I have them up in my Etsy shop down below. If you're looking for some free resources, like I said, there's my blog and newsletter as well. And I hope I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful month of March. Whatever challenges this brings, I know you can take it on and stay wild, my friends.